Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of What the Heck Are We Building at Minnesota Implement. We have a unique opportunity here today. We have two grapples in the bay. One is a 64-inch heavy duty that we are looking at right here, and the other one is a 72-inch standard duty. And so I have an opportunity to describe some of the differences between the 64-inch and the 72-inch and the heavy duty and the standard duty. Now, if we start with the 72-inch standard duty here, one of the first things you'll notice is you can see through the faceplate on this. So both of these units are standard skid steer mount. So they've got the same mounting hardware on them. But you'll notice on the 64-inch there, the faceplate's solid all the way to the outside. And on our 72-inch, you can see through the faceplate part of the way. On the heavy duty, we do a solid plate across the entire back of it. That adds a bit of strength. It keeps anything from pushing through if you're moving debris with like rebar or something like that in it. It keeps that from getting into your tires. And it allows us to also, you'll notice on the standard duty here, every other tine gets a support gusset to it. And on the heavy duty, with carrying that plate all the way to the outside, we're able to do a support gusset on every tine. So you've got the solid faceplate, the gusset on every tine, and then as we get into the outside of it, on the heavy duty here, this outside tine is 1 inch thick, whereas on the standard duty, the outside tine is the same as the rest of the tines across the unit, which are 3/4 by 2.5. Now you'll notice both units use the same grid pattern for their construction. So we've got this 3/4 by 2.5 tine with 1 inch solid stock welded through all of the tines, welded on both sides. That grid makes it very, very strong. So it allows us to build kind of a skeleton grapple setup and keep it lightweight, but the grid carries the strength from one tine to the next and makes it very, very strong. You'll notice on the 64-inch, the claws are kind of off-center where the cylinders sit because of the math of how this works out in your faceplate clearance. It causes for the claws to be kind of off-center or a little bit odd looking. On the 72 and on the 84, our claws are symmetrical. They could be swapped from one side to the other because ultimately they are built to the same dimension for both claws. But the other thing you'll notice between the standard duty and the heavy duty is on the standard duty, these pins are not greased. And on our heavy duty, we've got greasable pins on there. So obviously on a standard duty, you're looking at a homeowner, a farmer who's using the thing 10 hours a week. They're not going to wear those out very much. And when they do wear the pins, just pull the pins, throw the pins away and put new pins in. The heavy duty is more intended for your 40 hours a week use type of situation with the greasable pins. When you get into ordering one of these units, you'll have the option of ordering it with lines and couplers or without. So our 64 here has the line and coupler set on it. And so that's how it would be set up if you ordered it with lines and couplers. Our 72, on the other hand, was ordered without lines and couplers. So you'll notice it still has the cylinders and it still has the line set connecting each of them and then goes down to our T-blocks here. But the line and coupler set obviously isn't on there. So if you've got a utility grapple or an older machine that has kind of an odd configuration of hoses, you may be better off ordering it without the lines and couplers and take care of those hoses yourself. Now, both of these units use the same geometry, so the claws open the same distance on the units. And right now, obviously, with those hoses open, we can just manually open that. But you'll notice that opening is around, I believe that's 42 inches from tip to tip. So those claws open 90 degrees straight up, and that allows you to get a real good grip on whatever you're going to pick up, whether it be a 55-gallon drum, a rock, a big tree, with the hoses being plumbed together, as you see, one claw can open and the other one can stay closed, or in the case of grabbing a pine tree, both claws would open all the way, and then as you grab down on the pine tree, the fluff would crush down and the other claw will sit against the root ball, and it'll grab equally across the two. So yes, you can pick up something with one claw, and it will equalize pressure between the two. So that is some of the features of our grapple. One of the other things I wanted to mention, a lot of people say, well, our claws are awful small, and this hexagonal shape doesn't leave a lot of space in there. Well, as you see, the claws do open up quite a ways. So you've got a 30-inch deep by 42-inch tall opening in there. This hexagonal design, including those gussets down in the bottom, is very deliberate. The reason for that is we get a 6-to-1 to 7-to-1 reduction in the debris. You can physically crush your debris down with this. So if you're pulling fluffy branches that you've just trimmed off of a tree and you're picking them up and throwing them in a truck, you don't want to be throwing a bunch of fluff in your truck, or you're only taking a couple thousand pounds in a truck that could handle 20,000 pounds of debris, because it's all fluffy. It's taking up a lot of space. Your big sweeping grapples that you see on all these other grapples out there, they look impressive, but they're only reducing the debris maybe 50%. You've got a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 reduction in capacity or in crush force on them. Ours are deliberately made to crush the debris down and reduce its fluffiness so that you can fit more in your truck. So while, like I say, a lot of other companies like to do these big sweeping jaws because they look really impressive to everybody, the reality is they don't function like they really should for a debris handling grapple. So we are Minnesota Implement. Sorry to get a little long-winded on you here, but feel free to check out our other videos at minnesotaimplement.com and our YouTube channel. Some of our videos are long-winded, and some of them are very concise with just very important information. Thank you for watching.